What is up? Rocky in the house. How you doing, brother?
What's
Oh
going
man.
on, man?
I don't know. That intro had that staggered start, kind of threw it off kilter, but hey, we're here. It's fine. Rocky's here. Life is good. How's it going, Jake?
Good right now. I'm just sharing this out. I will ask our viewers to please share this out. Tonight is going to be a funny and educational show, as it always is. So there's nothing like coming on a show and watching a guy stare down at his phone, right?
Well, I've been he's only allowing me one pen. He says I make too much noise with the pen, so I only get one pen, and it's got the rubber around the outside, so I can't hurt myself. Della in the house.
Hello,
Hello,
get me in jail.
Yeah, exactly. Oh God.
Oh, what's up, Della? And I see Lynn is in here. What's going on? What's going on?
How's it going, guys? Yeah, I hope everybody had a great Friday. The weekend is here. I just had the opportunity to watch my friend's Zoom wedding that they had for the kid. High winds, horrible microphones, just. Yeah, Zoom is just not the same doing it over Zoom, but you know what? Ultimately, the deed was done. They got married, and that's all that really matters. And I'm sure that they'll have a happy eternity together. So yeah, things are good.
Yeah, my brother's daughter, my niece, tried to do the Zoom thing for all the people that couldn't come because of COVID. She's in New York, and a lot of us are spread out everywhere. And we all tuning in. All of a sudden, I'm getting like 50,000 messages. Hey, what's going on? I can't see the wedding. What's going on? I'm freaking out. I'm trying to get a hold of my brother. Try to get a hold of your family while the wedding's going on, please. It ain't gonna happen, right? So finally, they figure out that the videographer and all that messed up, but they're gonna do the Zoom on the cocktail hour and the reception instead of the ceremony, which was cool. Most people are probably just tuning in to watch the people dance and be drunk or whatever. So then they get it going, and there's all these people are watching, and they told everybody, don't turn your volume on, because as soon as you start talking, it will go to you and not the reception. So there's this one guy who was related to my brother's wife, and he's like leaning in the camera. Hello, can anybody hear me? Hello. Oh my God, it was so bad. It was really bad.
Oh man, if anybody wants to start a business, just do it with Zoom, OBS. You could actually probably do a decent production of one, but I have not seen one yet. But they should have a collection of these on YouTube, so you can see the wedding events that are happening over Zoom right now. So yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's a good idea. We should make a video of people's weddings that got Zoom that's gone bad. Zoom gone bad.
Zoom gone bad. That's right.
By the way, cheers. Shout out. I'm actually drinking Crown and Coke tonight. Just doing a little celebration. Rich knows, but I never really put it out there, that I applied to, a lot of you guys see my pictures, my photographs. So I applied and got approved to, what's the name? I can't even remember the name.
Getty Images.
Getty Images. So they approved me for some of my shots. Now, if I go out on these scanner calls and I get some news shots, maybe hopefully Rich can do some video droning, with his drone. So yeah, it was cool. I was glad about that. Sell some of my photographs. That'd be pretty cool, man.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, and I just got water and lime. Water and lime. Yeah, I got
feeling a little under the weather, right?
Yeah, sore throat. Did some frisbee golf today, mucking around in literally like half inch to an inch of water through the course, but was bound and determined to get some playing in. But we've just had a lot of rain. Anybody who lives near Charlotte in North Carolina knows we got some storms yesterday, and now I know why they used that location for a frisbee park. Yeah, because you can't really put anything else there because it floods out. So, but anyway, we did it, and whatever. But yeah, so hey,
you said you got bits from some mosquitoes. There was a sign, something about West Nile or something. I'm just kidding. Yeah, that'd be horrible.
That would be horrible.
Oh my God,
Zika. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow, you're bringing back Zika.
Oh man, yeah. Isn't that funny how that went away? I don't think so. Actually, I've heard that it is still here. So you just don't. It just doesn't get as much play. since they're worried about trying to run Trump into the ground, they don't use their media time for anything else, huh?
Yeah, and SARS, which, it's funny you bring up President Trump, but he's responsible for every disease
Yeah,
since the beginning of time. A
yeah,
lot of people don't know that. If you go to fact check, you'll find out that he is responsible for every hurricane too,
yeah.
apparently, and every fire in California is because of Trump. So it's amazing. I mean, we just got to stop him.
I had a bad hole on number 3 today playing frisbee golf. I think it was his fault too.
Yeah, you can blame him. You're not going to leave us, are you, Jake? No, 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 no way.
No, he mails those in. He sends those in. He doesn't have to go anywhere to do it.
Yeah. So if I get a call and I go out to one of these scanner like TW Lives, I've been showing some of them at night. I'll, like a car flipped upside down or whatever. I don't want to really film accidents, but like a fire or something, then the news stations will buy my footage and all that crap.
Yep.
Y'all stupid, somebody said.
Yeah, you're right. We are.
Yes, yes. See, that's a smart guy. That I'm gonna follow that guy because he's already got us pegged. He's here 1 minute and said we're stupid.
A discerning viewer right away.
Yes, get a man. All right, Rich, crank it up, man. I know we got a lot to get to. What's going on?
Well, first, I know you want to talk about your buddy Jack Dorsey, and then we'll go into the big news as far as hopefully this is coming to a head. So let him have it, Jake.
Oh my God, Jack Dorsey. Jack Dorsey. First of all, the owner of Twitter, if you don't know who Jack Dorsey is, and Periscope. And here we are on there. So, whenever you put Twitter censorship in your title, you probably could expect to be shut down. But anyway, if you just wonder if he's biased, just check out his timeline. It's full of pandering to people of color. And listen, I love all people and I'm against racism, but I'm not going to pander like the NFL does. And Jack Dorsey's whole timeline is all about pandering, right? And anti-cop crap. So if you're wondering why conservatives get shut down all the time, just check out Jack Dorsey's, it's at Jack timeline. You'll see exactly why we're getting shut down constantly and why they wouldn't want that article about crackhead Hunter and Biden getting out. Now they're in trouble, right? So now they're in trouble. They're getting a subpoena. They'll be brought in front of Congress. Will they be under oath, though, Rich? Will they be under oath? That matters. I don't think they ever go under oath when they testify there. I don't know.
Well, I think it pretty much is going to speak for itself. I know that Representative Ken Buck is demanding Department of Justice. I mean, they finally have gone too far, I believe, for them to really try to say, oh, it was an innocent mistake. No, it wasn't. Anybody, and we talked about this last night, chatted during the town hall meeting, anybody who tried to get on was unable to get on. I know that here's a couple of things. Representative Ken Buck demands Department of Justice investigate removal of big tech protections after censoring New York Post Biden article. He said, I write to express my concern regarding Twitter and Facebook recent actions to censor a prominent American news outlet, which, by the way, 4th largest in the country. These actions violate platforms immunity under Section 230 of the Communications Act, which we're going to talk about here a little bit more. Threaten to chill free speech. Yeah, so it's gone a little bit. We played, as a matter of fact, if you go and go to the site, we have the Senator Cruz coming out from the Amy Coney Barrett confirmation hearings. Mad. He said, you know what? We want to know what the hell's going on. So apparently they're going to issue that subpoena next Tuesday to have Jack Dorsey. And I don't know why they didn't say Zuckerberg, but he said Jack Dorsey there on Friday because, it said it's only 19 days from the election. And like I said, he wants to know what the hell's going on.
Probably because I don't think Facebook shut down the press secretary for the White House. It was Twitter that did that, and it's amazing. And now all of a sudden, after Ted Cruz announced that subpoena, all of a sudden Twitter's having all these problems. What do I think happened? Jack Dorsey freaked out and was like, "Oh crap, I'm being subpoenaed. Take off all the shadow banning software." Take off everything, and in their process of trying to hide what they were doing, they screwed up Twitter. Like you couldn't tweet out a show. I kept trying to just do a tweet. It wouldn't even go. If I tried to grab a URL from YouTube and share it, it wouldn't show it, the YouTube or even the tweet. They had all kinds of problems, right before the town hall and right after he got threatened with a subpoena. So he probably was like, yo, pull it all off and hide it. So to me, we're used to Russia and China and all of them meddling in our country and our election. But when an American citizen and an American company do it, people should be outraged. Right now, as I tweeted, Department of Justice, FBI, CIA, all should be padlocking their doors, going in there, taking everything, kicking their door in the middle of the night, like they did to what's his name?
Yeah, it was CNN out there too. Yeah.
Yeah, in Roger Stone in Miami, and tip off Fox News, say, hey, we're going to Jack Dorsey's place. Confiscate all that. Who knew who gave the orders to shut down that article, and who's giving the orders to ban conservatives? We want to know everything. Confiscate everything, just like they would if the Republicans were in charge of all that. And that is meddling in our election. That is treason. Treason. You expect China and Russia to do it, but here's an American, and silence from the Democrats. Silence. Why? Because they were protecting Slow Joe and Crackhead Hunter, right?
Yeah.
So you don't hear nothing. Where are all the outrage about meddling in election? You went on for Russia. We have an American company totally silencing information that people need to know right now before they vote. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it was weird because when I tried to actually, and everybody, and we talked about this last night, this was the stuff that people were trying to pull up here, were showing that they couldn't get anything on. And then when you would try to actually put, this is what I kept getting when I tried to put the Ted Cruz thing up. Hold on, that wasn't it. Where is it at? See if I even have it. But it just kept saying, the funny thing, it kept saying, I can't upload it. Not your fault, our fault. And this was during the town hall meeting. The only way that I got that up to 1600 Reasons Why on Twitter was by actually posting it on YouTube first. And then YouTube gives you the option to send it up to Twitter. And then I hit that button and that got it up there. But it wouldn't let me send anything out. And that was during the town hall meeting, which I found kind of ironic, that why you have these debates going on, no one's allowed to send these Twitters out back and forth, condemning Biden's comments or supporting Trump's comments. So, yeah, really, really suspicious.
Yeah, once again, the host of the town hall pretty much is just fact-checking and debating President Trump. And if you watch the Biden one, if you can painfully watch it, they're like throwing him softballs, like. Oh,
it's like a tea party. It's Stephanopoulos. I always call him Snuffleupagus. It's Stephanopoulos just sitting back there in the chair talking about it. Even helps him get back on topic when he started meandering off topic. And meanwhile, Trump's in this fierce fight with this chick back and forth. And everybody here that's watching this, I'm sure what we were watching, we were chatting, we know what was going on. So, but yeah, I think they pushed it too far. And just so we've always kind of touched on the whole USC 230 thing. And now that I think this is going to be coming up here in the next week, people that aren't really up on what we keep talking about with this, just want to explain a little bit about it. So you basically have publishers, you have distributors, and you have platforms. And this is something that's gone on for a long time. So publishers are basically held liable for anything that they put out there. Not only what they put out there, but whatever a third party that they allow onto their news or their magazine or whatever they control. They have full authority on it, and they're held liable for it. So the distributors operate more under a notice of takedown, and a notice of takedown says that unlike the publishers, they're not expected to vet every book that's on their shelf. But what they are expected to do is once they find out a specific piece of literature or work that's in their bookstore, they're supposed to take it down. So that's how distributors actually operate. Now, the platforms themselves, they have immunity over everything. They're not, and these are laws that go back a long time ago, back when you had telephone companies. there were cases that actually started this whole thing where a telephone company was not found liable, even if they knew that somebody had a message machine that was linked to their phone number that had a message that contained liable things. They weren't actually held liable for that. Cities weren't held liable because somebody was walking down the street with a sign that said liable things, for the most part. I mean, obviously within limits of profanity and obscenity. And then broadcasters were not held liable for ads that came out. They could not censor ads from political candidates. So the categorical immunity started a long way back. I'm trying to think. Hold on, let me see this. Yeah. So basically, one of the biggest cases that came out, and some of these cases have gone on for a while. I mean, you had CompuServe and you had Prodigy were the two biggest ones. And there was a case back in 1999 where it was Looney versus Prodigy. And this was a teenager that was actually still in high school, and somebody apparently had gotten his Prodigy account and had started posting threats to some Boy Scout leader, and had also posted vile and obscene things up on the post board. So the case went on because Looney was trying to sue Prodigy, saying, hey, Prodigy, you control your message board. In your terms of service, it says that you have the right to censor it, and so you control this, so you're held liable for it. And Prodigy said, even though our terms of service say that we can, we typically don't, and so we're not. And then they came back and said, but you have manpower and efforts that go towards this, so you are indeed a publisher. At the least, you are a distributor. So the whole time this was going on, the internet was fairly new, and no one actually thought about at that time that an ISP could actually fall in something other than a publisher or a distributor, that they could actually fall in the guidelines of a platform. And then came the USC 230, and that's why Looney, and that was a landmark case. So did you want to say something, Jake?
Yeah, I know President Trump passed a executive order. I don't really know much about it, and I don't know how much teeth it had, but didn't he try to do something about this? I know that President Trump can only do so much. It's up to the lawmakers, you know, and people are like, well, you know, don't blame Trump for this. It's up to the congressmen and the senators to pass the law. Well, I'll tell you what, it's been 4 years. We've been shut down since 2016. I know I have. I was one of the very first. If they don't do something, then stop endorsing them.
Right.
There you go. There's something he can do. Say, listen, we're being shut down and stifled, and we may even be at jeopardy of losing the election. Nobody realizes, well, a lot of people realize how powerful social media was to get President Trump elected. Well, they totally shut down major accounts now, and they shadow banned it. Basically, we're only talking to ourselves now. It was huge. Yes, President Trump and them did a lot of great things, especially with the Supreme Court and all that. But this is pretty big, man. Right. We are at risk of losing the election, not just because of voter fraud and this mailing crap, but because we have no voice like we did in 2016.
Right.
Where were these senators and congressmen? And why are you backing them and not saying, I would love to endorse you if you had done something about us being censored, you know? So I don't know. That's something you could do.
Well, you know, one of the things that USC 230 was actually talking about was the fact that they had to put in there that there's third-party filters that would take care of pornography, language, all these other things. I think what needs to be, the legislation needs to be changed so as to read something to the effect that if you want us to filter political opinions or political stories, checking for the veracity of that, then there will be third-party apps available that you can do that with. But it shouldn't be Twitters, it shouldn't be Facebooks, it shouldn't be YouTubes. It should be third-party apps that you can sign up for, just like all the other things that censor and filter the information that you're given. If you don't sign up for those, you should be able to see everything that comes across the platform, as long as it's not terrorism, as long as it's not, child pornography, sex trafficking, and the things that are actually illegal. Other than that, because ultimately the platform it was touted as one of the great things. Platforms can just stream it out there. Let us disseminate it, which it should do. It should be up to us. But now they've gone the route of using objectionable content. So they're using these fine clauses in there to push their political agenda. And that's how they are making their cases. And we've talked about this a year ago when we were doing this show. Who are hiring these people? What are their qualifications? What is their political lean? I mean, everybody's got their own agenda. And if you have these people that are working on this, kicking stories out and not allowing things to go through, you are acting as a publisher. Because just like they argued about Prodigy being a publisher back in the day, you have people that you are paying that are going through stories and using their decision as to whether or not a story gets through to us. And if they are doing that, you are not acting as a platform, you're acting as a publisher. The only thing those people should be doing is making sure that there's no minors in questionable things that, the normal stuff that you should be, not making calls on political stuff. So, so Twitter apparently has now said that they are not going to stop hacked material, I think, unless they can say it came from an illegal source, I think is what they're going to try to say.
Well, no, they were saying unless the hacker itself is posting it. But remember, they tried the excuse that we don't censor stuff; it's algorithms. But then everybody was like, "Well, somebody writes the algorithm program." So you know,
and that's big tech, and that's big tech writing that too, right?
Yeah, exactly. So if you have a YouTube page, you put in these keywords that you don't want people to write in your chat, and then nobody can chat that word. Well, it's the same thing. Whoever's writing the algorithm, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like if you have a flag, an American flag, or an NRA anything in your thing, you're shut down. I mean, so we know how it goes. It's disgusting, and freedom of information. Let us decide. Who are you to decide what's true or not?
That's right.
I mean, you're not the gatekeeper. And what's crazy is Facebook, Zuckerberg, put out this thing that if you post anything about COVID, they would send you to the World Health Organization. Really? I keep saying this. The World Health Organization, the one that said stopping flights from China wouldn't help, that masks don't work, and then they're like, oh, they do help. Then they're like, oh, 6 feet distance. Now they're going, oh, well, actually, you can travel further than 6 feet. It's more like 15 feet. Those are the guys you're sending us to? Thank you, though. I appreciate it. Now, I'll read everything, like those doctors that were banned. Their video was banned. Why? Why was it banned? Because they told the truth, and it didn't fit in what they wanted.
That's right. And it's funny that you'd mentioned that because, so not only did they block the tweets, but they blocked the account. So Magdalene's account is blocked. So what if she had to tweet out as the press secretary, there's been an ICBM that's just launched? She can't even tweet that out because her account is blocked because of something else that Twitter deemed was shouldn't have been posted. And who's this
emergency thing set up? That if something now, James Dar will tell you about this. In Hawaii twice, I remember the first time it happened, it went off by accident. And they told everybody an incoming missile was coming into Hawaii. People were freaking out,
I remember that. Yes, I remember the video.
They were like, no, sorry, it was somebody set off a bottle rocket or something. No, it was just some idiot pressed the wrong button. I don't know. And the
CDC has more like you said, there was so much misinformation by the World Health, CDC, everything contradicting itself, plus doctors in Europe contradicting what the doctors here were saying. So give us all the information. We are the public. We are intelligent, sentient beings. Let us disseminate what we think is true. Let us do our due diligence. Let us go ahead and do our own research and come up with our own conclusions to it, not be spoon-fed by these people. And that's what the problem of what's happening now. And it's so lopsided and one-sided as to be laughable. And go ahead, because I'm about to change the subject. Stay on it, but change it.
I was watching New York City Guns last night on YouTube, and he had Spy the Liar in them, and he was talking about the answer is not to run away from Twitter. Like during when they wouldn't let blacks in certain restaurants, you didn't just say, "Well, let's build our own restaurant." They said, "No, we're going in this restaurant, and too bad, you need to change." So the answer is not to just run to Parler, which I feel is just an echo chamber. The answer is to force them to go under the guidelines you were talking about. I don't like government controlling things, but in this circumstance, I understand it was a bait and switch. I do understand that. I would wish that the market would decide how to deal with this, but unfortunately, they control all the servers and all the tech too.
Yep.
So you can't even like start your own, Twitter or that. And if we all leave, that's what they want. They want you to leave and just shut up and go to Parler and become an echo chamber while they, get a billion users on Twitter. Good luck, like Glenn, Herman from New York City Guns was saying, good luck trying to build a platform with a billion users. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're not going to be able to compete. It's a matter of forcing them to live under the guidelines or remove the guidelines. You know what I mean? And break them up. They're a monopoly.
Yeah, Ma Bell, break them up. Yeah, I mean, because you allowed them to get. Where was the antitrust conversations about this as they were eating up all the other companies around them? So yeah, definitely. It's going to be interesting now that everybody's riled up, and rightly so. What happens here when they get Jack Dorsey on the stand? They already had this patty cake meeting with him and Zuckerberg before.
Three of them.
Yeah.
3 of them. And that's the thing. Oh, we're sorry. First of all, they should be in jail. Zuckerberg should be in jail. He stole everybody's information and didn't tell them they were stealing your info and selling it. If I did that, if I broke in your house or had a little company that said one thing and then just took all your, they never pay ever. They just go, "Oh, I'm sorry. I already called that they were going to have one of these useless, another hearing in front of the." Will they be put under oath? Why are they not padlocking their doors? Let's find out who made these decisions to shut this article down.
Yep.
And let's really look at your software and how you're shadow banning and all of that. People need to pay, not bring them in front of, Congress, and then all they're going to do is give Democrats a chance to get their talking points across, and then Republicans get their chance, and these guys just laugh because they're like, "There ain't nothing going to happen to us." How come they're not kicking in their corporate doors? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, and let's just remember this. It was Jack Dorsey. He made the decision. There is no way this story comes out from the New York Post and they're sitting around deciding if they're going to kill this across the entire Twitter, Facebook platform, and that the heads of these two companies didn't get on the phone with each other. Are you killing it? Yeah, me too. Click. You know that there was collusion between, I'm sure, Mark and Jack to go ahead and shut this down.
Don't forget it when Alex Jones, whether you like him or not, I was dead set against him being shut down, or even any extreme left-wing person, unless they're making threats.
Right.
Because then they can use the same thing to shut you down. Don't forget, Alex Jones was shut down on all platforms at the same time. That proves they're coordinating. They even tell you they can shut down your Facebook page because things you write on Twitter, even though those companies have nothing to do with each other. That's how bad it is.
And keep in mind, just to say, Alex Jones was castigated about his article on gay frogs. That is a show that he got the content from a TED Talk from a scientist and a black actress who did a TED Talk on it. That is not something Alex Jones made up. That was a scientific study that was done into the side effects of the herbicide. It was either herbicide, insecticide, or pesticide that Monsanto's or a company affiliated with Monsanto's was using, and they were testing the effects on the ecosystem of it. This was the study research that was found out. That's not something he made out, but yet he was castigated, and that was one of the things they said, "Oh, he's crazy." He may be crazy. I don't care if the guy's crazy, but he's allowed to pop up on YouTube, sign into his account, and post a video just like anybody else. And if he's not threatening anybody, and if he's not calling for tearing down the world, then he gets to stay up in my book. So that's how I feel.
Well, that's the thing. They said that he was shut down, and I think I even showed it live. When he was inside in Washington, inside the Senate building or something, he was harassing a reporter, and he was getting all in his face and said, "Hey, this and that." I forget the reporter and I forget the story. That's why they shut him down, because he was filming himself harassing a reporter or a news guy, and that's what they said, that he used his platform to harass and all of this crap.
Right.
Some of our viewers probably could remember. It was a while ago, and I actually believe I was live showing it. Him going up to this reporter like, "You're a damn liar," and this and that. Why don't you explain this and that? And that's what they said they finally shut him down for.
Okay, and just because I opened this Pandora box, Dell was talking about who paid for that. Funny enough, it was the company that was making, I don't know, herbicide, insecticide, pesticide, whichever one it was the company that was actually making it. They called for the study. They paid for the study. But when this researcher who studies frogs came out and said this is what it's doing, they wanted to squish it. But they also found out the same thing that was making the ovaries grow inside the testes of the frogs. They found it was the same thing that was causing these tumors and breast cancer among women. So this guy took the study to the company that paid him to do it and said, guys, this is causing tumors in women. This is what it's doing to the frogs. And instead of quit making the product, they actually doubled down. And that's why today Monsanto owns Bayer Pharmaceutical. It's because they created the problem. Then they come out with this drug that stops the gene that proliferates these tumors. Anyway, too much information on that subject. She asked. I didn't want to go, I want you to think I was just crazy. But that was the whole thing. And I encourage you, if you go and look up on TED Talks, I forget what scientist's name, and frogs and Monsanto, it'll come up. Trust me. I'll put a link in on the video is what I'll do.
And then you had Roundup, right? Roundup, the weed killer.
Right.
Wasn't that the one that was like banned and now they changed the formula? Wasn't that, who made that? I forget who made Roundup.
I don't know the company. I don't know the company.
That weed killer.
I know what you're talking about. That causes the cancer. Yeah. And now they had
first they were saying that was a conspiracy.
Right.
That's not true. And then all of a sudden
now they know it's true.
Commercials, if you were affected by Roundup or whatever, give us your money and we won't do nothing for you.
Yeah. So give me all my information. Any information I ask for, give me it in all forms, from every angle. I'll put it together. I'll decide. I'll come up with my own opinion, Jack. Mark, I don't need your help with that. I can do it on my own. So
fair.
So let's now talk about the fact, where's the apologies? Don't forget, the whole thing of this is the New York Post story. The whole thing that President Trump was impeached over. His call to Zelensky saying, why are you not prosecuting this? Okay? Right. That's what the vindication for Trump is there now. If all this is found out to be true and factual, okay, and I'll say this is in the infancy. I'm sure more is to come. But these whole meetings were, and don't forget, this is, and I'll play this clip. I'll play the clip. This is Biden at the Council on Foreign Relations, where he talks about the fact that, I'm leaving in 6 hours. I'm taking my billion with me. So we'll play this real quick.
I remember going over convincing our team, or others too, convincing us that we should be providing for loan guarantees. And I went over, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to the press conference. I said, no, I said, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid.
Yeah, solid. Isn't that a mafia term for somebody who's complicit and easily to go along with things? And this guy's actually bragging about this crap, huh?
Yeah. So my comment to that is, well, it was nice seeing you guys. Hopefully you'll join us on our next page after this one's shut down, since we just showed that clip. And you know what? If that gets us shut down, who cares? They hate the truth. But yeah, I mean, come on, dude. And here's the reason. Oh, well, it's unprecedented to go after a presidential candidate during
Yeah,
the
yeah.
election this close. We can't go after him right now. And all this stuff. The FBI and all them knew about this Hunter crap. They had these emails. They didn't go after him, So that's why you shouldn't have Christopher Wray there and Bill Barr and all of them. That's why nobody is going to pay, no matter how many people, grifters tell you that all of these people are going to Guantanamo, and there's all these sealed indictments that Comey's been indicted and Hillary and, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer being indicted. Bull crap. You just keep sending them your money while they keep moving the goalposts. Nobody is going to pay for any of it. And the fact that these clowns are saying it's too close to an election to go after these people is bullcrap. They should have already gone after these people. How about Hillary? Nobody ever even reopened the case. The woman sent classified material. Comey even said, but however, no reasonable prosecutor. A guy went to jail for taking a picture of a submarine because he was excited and he sent it to his mom. But Hillary walks. Nobody is going to pay. It's sad, bro.
It is sad. And it's not just like, and honest to God, if I had done something like that, I would have been really quiet and, kept it under. No, he's out. And matter of fact, even doubles down. Here's a page. This is from the Council on Foreign Relations. This is August 1st, 2019, when the CFR invited the presidential candidates challenging President Trump in 2020 to come talk about their policy decisions and the way they saw different countries. This is what he says about the Ukraine. He said, first of all, I'd like to make Ukraine a U.S. foreign policy priority. On the military side, I would provide more U.S. security assistance, including weapons to strengthen Ukraine's ability to defend itself. I would also expand the successful training missions for Ukrainian armed forces, yada, yada, yada. Economically, I would work to increase Western direct investment support for Ukraine's energy independence from Russia, particularly if the Nord Stream 2 pipeline is built in the coming year. Oh, that's right. Hunter worked for the gas company, didn't it? Because this project would severely jeopardize Ukraine's access to Russian gas. I would also ensure that all U.S. assistance to the Ukraine is strictly conditioned on anti-corruption reforms, including the appointment of genuinely independent anti-corruption prosecutors and courts. So not only did he make the extortion back then, he's letting them know, hey, by the way, guys, my son's still going to get paid, and you better keep the prosecutors in there that aren't looking into the things that I don't want them to look. So you look. I'm going to go to show you this real quick because it just ties on to this. So this is a letter from Vladimir Przhevsky. I can't even. It's some hard word to spell. Whatever.
Right.
And this was the letter that set off the whole thing about the prosecutor. And it talks about, we're getting investigated, this, that. So far, we got information through unofficial channels that one or more pretrial proceedings were initiated by the Ministry of Internal Affairs with regard to Burima holding companies that are heavily engaged in gas production. Okay, it says that the Ministry of Internal Affairs contacted the Ministry of Ecology and Natural Resources, State Geological and Subsurface Survey, Ukraine, to obtain all documents concerning licenses issued since 2006 until now to the companies of our holding. Apart from that, they would unofficially approach our partners, our clients, our suppliers, trying to intimidate them and stop working with our company. So these are typical instruments they use to destabilize the business. It says, we urgently need your advice on how this is to Devon and Hunter, we urgently need your advice on how you could use your influence to convey a message, signal, etc., to stop what we consider to be politically motivated actions, bearing in mind the following. And then he goes on to say what, his rationale for it is. So this is the kind of crap that was going on. You are using the vice president, the then vice president of the United States. That's treason. To influence this Ukraine was trying to prosecute a corrupt organization. And Hunter is using his dad, the VP, who is interfering in their they're trying to clean up corruption in their country, and had them sway political policy. And wow, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And this is the good guy. This is good old Joe. Come on, Joe. What are you talking about?
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
It's a bunch of malarkey. So Rudy Giuliani was on Good Morning America this morning. Not Good Morning America, sorry. Fox and Friends this morning. And he was talking about, oh, there's so much more. There's so much more. And then Ted Cruz, the video you showed, was like, I was trying to share out the whole China thing. We haven't even talked about the whole China
That's
connection,
right.
you know, and how Joe Biden demands that they pay half. But the most disturbing thing you pointed out in there, Rich, I don't know if anybody caught it in all those 2 articles you read, was the yada, yada, yada. I mean,
Yeah.
That's the nail in the coffin right there.
That's tough stuff. That's where because that's the devil's in the details and the yada yada yadas.
Yeah, I mean, once you put the yada.
Well, I
yada
didn't want
yadas
to.
in it,
Yeah, well, I it was either put the yada yada yadas in or put people to sleep. So I figured I'd put the yada yada
Yeah.
yadas in. So
I hear you.
yeah,
Yeah, we skipped to the important, just to the important.
so I don't know. And here's the thing: they talk about how politically motivated this was. Whatever. If they really were trying to actually hammer the election cycle, they would have did this before people were out there putting in the absentee votes. I mean, this came 2 days. This whole article came a couple days after people had already started voting. There's already millions of votes that are in the boxes now. So they would have they should have done this a week ago, in my opinion. But so it's and ultimately it's probably not going to sway people's opinion at this point going into the election. But by God, if they have morals, they should. I mean, it really should, because he's been lying for how many years to your face, talking about he's never been involved in his son's business, never has discussed his son's business. My rat's ass, he hasn't discussed me.
Right. And if he did that, as vice president, imagine what he would do as vice president to Kamala Harris.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine? And the worst part is you can't even say, like, if he won and became president, if we kept the Senate and won the House back, then we can impeach him. Then we get Kamala Harris, which we're already going to get anyway. If God forbid, Chameleon Harris ever won, that's what I call her, because she'll just change her colors to whatever she needs to. Real quick, isn't it funny how all the riots just stopped? They pulled all the funding. So obviously they don't care about Black lives anymore or racist police. They just stopped. That just doesn't even matter anymore. Now you just have like a couple of scrubs in Portland throwing rocks at the gate at the Justice Center, and then most of them are all the misfit streamers out there. They're pretty much gone, and they're doing these like candlelight vigils. Most of them now are just sitting here like no shoes, putting on backbeats and doing horrible rapping that I, as a white guy, could probably do way better. But,
Yeah, I've heard you. You do much better.
no, I could throw it down if I need to. I don't like to do it.
You want me to keep the beat? Well, you go. Come on.
Maybe on the next show.
The next show.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't have my spit guard on my mic, and a lot of stuff gets messy.
And with COVID, I can't. We're right.
Yeah.
Next, and that's one of the things that Giuliani had also talked about. He had talked about the fact that I don't know if in the thing you saw today, I saw this yesterday when he was talking about the fact that in the letter that Hunter wrote to his daughter, talking about he doesn't get a whole lot of respect, but I hope he said, I hope my family's happy that I've taken care of him for the next 7 years. Wow. And Giuliani was talking about the fact that, because the way this usually will work, and the man knows stuff. He said the way it usually will work is that they'll funnel the money to the family through foundations, through different organizations, because you can't send it to the guy's wife because of tax purposes. So usually this is money that's more paid to a family than it is actually making it straight to Hunter's pocketbook. He only gets the $80,000 a month. Poor guy.
I can imagine what else is on these emails. I can only imagine, but
the videos of the alleged videos of him smoking crack, sex with the unknown chick, and all this. I
want to know who. Nobody's asking this. Who took the picture of him laying in bed with a crack pipe?
Selfie, probably a selfie.
No, it wasn't. Somebody took it. So somebody was, and the dumbass leaves it on his iPad. Like, yo, I like that. Yo, look at that, man. I'm passed out.
Well,
who leaves that on there? Well, first of all, who does crack? And I mean, did he really fall asleep like that, or did somebody who was close to him stick the pipe in his mouth and take the picture. I mean, I don't even know how that happens. I don't.
And the funny thing is this, and I didn't put these pictures in, but they have the FBI, the subpoenas for this computer. And the fact that he dropped off the computer and the hard drive and never came back for them. He didn't pay for them up front, and the guy could not identify it as Hunter Biden, who actually dropped it off. He says, I don't know if it was him or not. Right. Months had gone by, but the guy never came back and picked it up. And you know that if all this is true, the way it's laid out, that Joe Biden's got to be pulling his hair out thinking, my crackhead son is too stupid to go, number one, to drop his, why wouldn't he say, Dad, one of my computers has some sensitive stuff. I need to get it fixed. Who do you know? Rather than that, he takes it to down the street to Best Buy. Not that it was a Best Buy. He takes it down the street and says, hey, dude, here's this. And then it gets too high to remember that he either dropped it off or where he dropped it off or why he didn't come back. That's going to be an interesting story in and amongst itself.
Yeah, why would you not take it to Hillary Clinton? Remember, she wipes it off clean with a cloth.
Yeah, or
a bleach bit,
or all those.
She's like, oh, see, that's how arrogant they are, bro.
Yep.
You said how can Joe Biden sit there on a stage and brag about, son of a bitch, he was fired. The same as Hillary, knowing she deleted all the things with bleach bit. It's like, what do you mean, like with the cloth or something? You know why they're so arrogant while they're screwing us? Because they can be, because they never get charged and they never will.
That's right.
They never will pay for it. Because there's so much dirt on both sides that if one turned one in, then it's just going to snowball. And they're like, oh, well, I got this dirt on you and I got this dirt. So nobody's willing to go after these people, these elitists at the top, because they have so much dirt on each other that I don't think our country can even handle how much dirt and the weird crap these people are into with child pedo and all that crap.
Yep. Yeah. And just like all the phones that got smashed and came back when they subpoenaed the phones, and all the phones come back and mysteriously they're all broken, all
and
wiped.
She was never put under oath, not one single time. No. And then they're like, oh, well, you give us what you don't want to give us. But then they kick in Roger Stone's door. I mean, it's so blatant and scary,
yep,
bro, and scary. And our media, the control of our media now, Twitter, at least in Russia and China, the media is corrupt.
Yeah.
I mean, here they still try to pretend it's not.
Right.
I mean, it's bad, man. This is forget Trump. I love Trump. I voted for him. I could care less about President Trump. I'm talking about our country right now. When you have the IRS targeting the Tea Party, or the FBI and them going after a candidate, or these monopoly information companies that are shutting down conservatives and stifling stories. This is way bigger than President Trump. You know what I mean? This is we will lose our country if people don't wake up, man. I'm telling you.
Well, and just so everyone knows going forward how important this is, and we've been touching on this as we've been going through this whole election cycle, we talk about the cord cutting of the cable companies and the fact that the only reason there's actually news companies out there that are on TV right now is because there's live sports and they have to play somewhere. So the TV stations are hanging on by a thread. All this stuff is going to streaming. Okay. And as Facebook and as YouTube and as Twitter gain their monopoly, they are going to be the de facto sources that you have, platforms that you have that are going to be streaming all this. If you look, you got Philo TV, you got Pluto TV. Everybody and their brother is now coming out with a streaming service that is offering TV channels and is offering things. It's all going a la carte. That's why this whole issue of platforms and protection for platforms, which is actually should be, i.e. protection for us, is so important going forward. Why they have to hammer out this legislation, and there has to be consequences, and it has to be in our favor. It cannot be in Twitter's favor, cannot be in Facebook's favor, cannot be in YouTube's favor. So yeah, you got to cut the purse strings somehow. You have to actually give these people a fine to worry about if they infringe upon our rights, or you pull their license to be a platform off. Maybe GORF licenses. GORF licenses were something back in the 90s that were like the holy grail. If you got a GORF license, it means you got X amount of bandwidth. So maybe you have to actually apply for these, that there's actually, it's not just customer driven. Maybe it's the fact that you have to live within these parameters. And if you break out of them, you lose your quote a new age Gorf license. So anyway, but we can talk about.
I didn't know nothing about Gorf.
Yeah,
license.
Well, you remember Tim Conway, Gorf? No, but
Yeah,
we'll have to talk about Gorf licenses later. But they used to be the holy grail as far as bandwidth back in the day.
Hold on, my man Glay's going after somebody. Who's he going? Educated one. I think you're in the wrong place, brother.
Uh-oh.
Tear him up, Glay.
Well,
tear him up.
Yeah, if he's educated, Glay, he's in the wrong place. Listen to us.
Yeah, no, he's probably being a troll. I don't even know. Any trolls that we don't get to block, you guys just block them. Whatever.
Yeah, and sorry, we haven't been paying as much attention to the chat. I mean, but this has been got a lot going on trying to throw this stuff up poorly. But
like Robert said, they donate too much to Congress. It'll never happen. Yep.
Yeah.
Lobbyists, man. They control it. That's why they hate President Trump so much. And the Republicans. And I know Juan Williams is like, well, even Republicans. What Republicans, Juan Williams? The swamp ones that were never Trumpers that hate him. That's why he is so hated. Not just here, but around the world. He took all these people that were getting free lunch and all this corruption and don't owe anybody anything and is doing this honestly for the American people. That is their worst nightmare, bro, that they don't have somebody that owes them something. It is their biggest fear, is why they try to take him out every day.
So, and one of the things I found funny, I was trying to find the story there. Let's see here. It was just seeing how the news people, and I can't find it, I already took it off the iPad, but it was basically talking about like Independent, the quote news organization, The Independent, talking about this is spinning it. Didn't even talk about the whole Hunter Biden, the allegations in it, just said this is how bad Trump is losing and this is how you know it, because you're having to have news organizations like New York Post cut deals with them and get them to put this stuff out for you. They're spinning this as if this is just a political tactic. And that's all these little fringe liberal news organizations that are out there are trying to play this. Not even talking about what's actually being said. Not even talking about the veracity of it. And not like this is new. They didn't just pump this out. This has been going on since 2014, 2015, 2016. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
sickening.
It amazes me. After 2016, I never thought we'd hear another poll again. Like, they got Biden ahead in the polls. I thought after 2016, when they had Hillary so far ahead, nobody would ever, like all the pollsters would go and get different jobs. They'd never talk about polls again. And here they are, Biden's ahead on this poll. I thought the only time we'd be talking during this election about polls is the one in Kamala Harris's basement where she makes money on. That was the only poll I thought they'd be talking about, not, these other polls. So I don't know. It's amazing to me.
And Allegedly, yes. And does anybody know what the actual viewing numbers were last night? I saw one article, but the only thing they quoted was NBC Now, which was where we were picking up our feed, that it was 158,000 versus Joe Biden's number. But they also didn't count the fact that they got CNBC and there's another NBC affiliate that was also streaming it. So they made sure that they said only NBC Now. They did not say all the NBC platforms that were actually streaming it, because the ABC only has the one. They really didn't have anything else going on. So, but
they were counting the nursing homes.
Yeah.
That were watching Biden. That's why it looked like he had more viewers.
Well, God knows liberal policies have pretty much emptied out the population on those, especially in New York.
Yeah, de Blasio.
God help those people. Yeah.
What's his name? Cuomo. Oh, jeez. Oy vey. I can't wait till the rest of my family gets out of New York. Oy vey.
Yeah.
My Jewish people out there.
I'm gonna play my punch out thing real quick. Here's the punch out thing.
All right, do it.
Biden, who's a loser. I mean, look, Joe never got more than 1%, except Obama took him off the trash heap, and now it looks like he's failing.
Come on, man. How many push-ups you want to do here, pal?
That's the end of his political career.
Come on, man.
Yeah, so that's how he's going down. He's got to go down that way.
I like that. I missed that game. I still have carpal tunnel from that damn game.
That and Twisted Metal Black. Remember we played that for hours? Oh, Lord.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's been a while since I got to play games. This is the only game we're playing right now. It's called Save Your Country.
Yeah.
I love that one. That was good. You were going to do a Star Wars thing, right? But, yeah. That went away.
That went away. Definitely.
So that's it. What else we got? Was that it or no?
Man, I think we threw all our passion into that. I don't know that we really have anything else. Let's see. I already voted for, but had to watch Biden for the laughs last night. Yeah, you know what, Donna? I haven't gone back and looked at that. I need to, but I had, like I said, I spent my time playing frisbee golf because I felt it was more productive than watching Biden talk. But no, as staying educated, should definitely go and check it out too.
Somebody was saying, a reporter, somebody asked Biden, Fox was showing it. I think it might have been Glay, that somebody asked Biden about these whole allegations, and he flipped out about it.
Yeah, well, you know what? He flipped out it before. I mean, that's
if you he started calling that guy fat and challenging.
Yeah, and that's where that's where the punch out thing came from. The audio from that was from from that thing where this guy was asking about, and he's getting all mad. He's messed up. And Glay,
I'm waiting for somebody to say, okay, let's do some push-ups. I can't wait to see Biden do a push-up.
Yeah, I would have called him out. I would have said, okay, dude.
Oh, my God. And I want to see you clap in between them, too.
Well, listen to Biden.
One-handed, all that.
Listening to him tell those old stories, how he pinned that medal on that guy, that place he never was, and a place he never. Which, by the way, Clay, first game did not break par. Second game probably would have broke par, but I had to come back and watch a wedding on Zoom, so we had to skip the last two holes. So I'll say I would have broke par had I been able to stay out there for the last two holes, slopping through the muck and mire.
Yeah, you're talking about disc golf as frisbee golf. For those who don't know, it's pretty cool. You carry this backpack, and you got.
No, I don't carry the backpack. I don't do.
You don't have the backpack.
One frisbee. If I can't do it with one frisbee.
Oh yeah, and you throw. It's just like golf, but there's these baskets at the end of the hole, and you gotta, you have like a driving disc and a putting disc. It's crazy, and I'm gonna brag on myself a little bit.
Yeah, I was there to see it.
Hole in one. I did get a hole in one, and it was probably how many yards, bro?
I would say it was they go by feet, but I would say it was probably around 210 as far as feet go, which is long. That'd be a par 4 on a disc course.
Yes, it was amazing. So lucky. It was uphill and behind trees, and there was actually two girls walking on the sidewalk at the top of the hill, walking past the basket. It's a basket that chains hang down, and then you have to throw the disc into it. And I just chucked that sucker, and it curved around the trees and went right in one shot. We were all amazed, and it scared the crap out of the two girls at the top of the hill. Remember? They were like, what was that? And we were like, couldn't believe it went in. So the luckiest shot ever, man.
The scariest part of that is we were in our 20s back then. That's the scariest part. That's how long we've known each other. We were in our 20s. It was like
10 years ago.
Yeah, at most 10 years ago. God.
Or so. So that's it, man. That's all I got. Appreciate you guys tuning in and listen to us. We wanted to cover the whole shooting in Denver, but we never, it was mostly me. I never got to pull that together. But Rich been holding it down, showing the rallies and the Amy Coney Barrett,
man, she's good.
Nominee. She is awesome. So prayers for her and her family. She was getting the beating as they always do. Prayers for our country. They're so mad that President Trump didn't pass away from COVID. And now Chameleon Harris, two of the people close to her have it. So much for that, right? So I think that she really is just hiding from this whole story that just came out. I really want to know.
We got to see another debate. I don't think there's anybody on the fence. I just want to see the debates continue. One debate for a presidential election. Come on. They can't do better than that. There's got to be a way to do it. It's got to be a way.
Somebody's saying it didn't happen if it isn't on video, I think. My hole in one. That's funny. Yeah, I didn't get that one. I also got a hole in one in golf one time, too, and that was pretty lucky.
They didn't have.
180 yards into the wind.
I didn't see that one. I heard about that one. I did not see that one.
And my cousin who taught me was making fun of me that I used a 4-iron on a 180-yard hole, which is actually pretty pathetic, I have to admit. But it was really windy. And I asked him, "Oh, how many hole-in-ones do you have?" And he said, "None." I said, "Well, then shut the hell up. You should be happy. You're the one who taught me how to play golf." And that was lucky, too. I can't believe that thing went in. And I never even parred the hole since. Every time I step up to that hole, I'm like, I'm going to do it again. I can't even hit the green, never mind put it in. So that's just how lucky that is. So.
Okay, so Rocky's asking, how do I see you on the blue screen yet not on YouTube chat? When you say that, who are you talking to? Us or?
Let's see. How do I see you on the blue screen but not on YouTube chat?
We got something wrong, Rocky. Rocky's our canary in the coal mine. He'll tell us if something's not going.
On Layman Talks. He's talking to Layman Talks.
Because
No, I see her. If you were to scroll backwards, she's there. If you scroll back on Restream, can you do that? Oh, you don't have it pulled up, right?
No, I don't have Restream pulled up.
Yeah, she's been popping up. I remember, because pay attention to Layman Talks. Now, we have a lot of intelligent viewers, but Layman Talks has some knowledge and really doesn't care Democrat, Republican, Trump, no Trump. She cares about the Constitution and law. Check out her comments. You'll understand quickly that she's all about, I think it's a he, right?
I was about to say, I was going to correct you. I was going to wait for a minute. I've actually listened. I've listened to Layman reading documentation.
I just gave her a sex change, and I just gave him a sex change and didn't even pay for it. So I don't have Rocky on my screen, is all I'm saying. Oh, Layman Talks is saying that to Rocky.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. But
Rich, you can edit this part out, right? Where I just made a fool of myself.
Yeah, no problem. But going to Amy Coney Barrett, you know what? And because Della talked about she credibly impressive, held her own. Yeah. And the fact she spouts off, obviously, the whole notepad everybody talks about. Yeah. And she's clipping off this stuff. But irregardless of what side of the fence you're on, you have to at least take some solace, because if you're liberal, you lost. To the victors go to spoil. There is no way the liberals would not have put in a Supreme Court justice right 2 days before the election if they had any if the situations were turned around. But take some solace in the fact.
Yeah, but I do got to be fair. The Republicans did that when Obama wanted to put a nominee forward.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I'm saying. To the victors go to spoil. It depends on where you're at when it happens. You're gonna play. Now, what are you talking about? Wait.
When Obama nominated the empty seat and they wouldn't give it a hearing and all of that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm saying if either side had the opportunity and the power and the votes and the numbers to stop or do it or whatever suited them,
yes,
they're going to do it. So don't be hating on the Republicans for pushing this through, because if
I'm not.
Not you. No, I meant being as far as if you're liberal, don't hate because if they had the votes to do it when Obama did it, they would have done it. So that's all I'm saying. But take some solace in she's a textualist. So as far as having a Supreme Court nominee, that is probably the best hope you could get if you're on the other side of the fence, that you get a textualist that's in there, because
that's right.
You get a Scalia type person. So anyway.
That's right. And elections have consequences, and God forbid Joe Biden gets in for the Senate.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yes.
And in the Harris administration.
Please put him back in the Senate.
Yeah, put him back in a home or something. I don't mean to be mean, but damn, that is elder abuse. So yeah, I'm all good. Thank you guys for tuning in, and God bless you, man. Yeah,
God bless you guys. Thanks again. We appreciate it. We don't take it for granted that you're here. Thank you. Have a great weekend. If there's anything going on this weekend, please click like, subscribe. YouTube, because YouTube is one of the people that allowed me to post my stuff. Like I said, we're probably going to boycott Twitter. It's not like Jake didn't hate him enough. I had no opinion. Now I don't like him. So, yeah. So,
real quick, Nick brings up a good point. Obama did it at the end of his second term, which makes him a lame duck.
And Trump.
There is a difference.
Yes, and he's right. Trump is not a lame duck president yet. The election has not happened, and I think that's slated to happen on October 22nd, if I'm not mistaken, is when they will reconvene and probably make that vote. So
Yeah.
But yeah, if there's anything going on, rallies, whatever, hit the alerts because we're going to try to go ahead and stream it. I love doing it. Didn't know how much I would enjoy doing it except for the chat that we've had during these things. It's just been really fun. So I've really enjoyed it. And once again, the chat tonight was wonderful too. So guys, thank you. Anything else, Jake?
No, just that I'm getting a lot of direct messages saying, thank God you brought Rich on board, because usually, Jake, you just ignore us in chat. So it's nice to have somebody that actually pays attention to us. So I'm catching a lot of heat about that, but they're also glad you're aboard. So
Well, awesome. Well, hey, happy to be here, loving it. And we will see you guys the next time.